This is Beck Bamberger with the latest in San Diego business news. Breast cancer may be one step closer.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
As the first person to land on Mars, I decided to prank Mission Control by saying, "What is that thing?" and then going silent. Never expected to hear "mission successful" from them. My grandson got his big, beautiful smile from me. It never wavers on his face as he watches me die. I was born blind, but was lucky enough to have a loving mother who took care of my every need. Imagine the betrayal I felt when a stitch slipped and a ray of light hit my eye for the first time. I've always wanted to see pictures of myself as a kid, but not in the missing children section of an old newspaper. Babe, you are strong, brave, independent, and smart, I said, embracing her. So I know you'll be just fine, I said before pushing her out the door into our zombie-infested neighborhood. My mother said a lot of bad things about me, but there was one that turned out to be right. Someday, you'll be the death of me. I didn't lock my door that night. It makes it so much easier to catch my prey. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just camping. Repeated something from behind the campfire's light. In my voice. I watched my daughter and her 4 friends go down into the basement for their first sleepover. In the morning, after 3 had been picked up by their parents, I asked my daughter about the 4th girl, but she had no idea who I was talking about. My 4-month-old son loves playing peekaboo. It's really the most reliable way to get him to laugh. Problem is, I can hear him giggling in the nursery over the baby monitor. The serial killer found it easy to survive the onset of the zombie apocalypse. At least, until he realized that the undead can remember who murdered them. Don't worry about that sound. It's just me reading this over your shoulder. The sound of her stepfather coming home drunk and angry was the last thing she wanted to hear. It was. A 911 phone operator handed in his resignation today. He always wished to be with his wife and kids until the very end. Just not through a phone call. People think I'm scared of mirrors because I find them reflecting my every move unnerving. What was more unnerving was the time they didn't. I thought it was my lucky day when I found those AirPods on the train home. Even though I destroyed them weeks ago, I can't stop hearing the strange music they would play. The trip home seemed different, quieter this time around. Nobody was screaming in the trunk on the return trip from the lake. I complained to my boss that a coworker kept peering around corners of the office at me during the night shift these past couple of evenings. My boss told me I was the only one scheduled for that shift this week. Every night since we got married, I tuck her in and kiss her on the forehead once she falls asleep. Ever since the divorce, I've had to be a lot more discreet about it. When my father got home late with blood on the front of his car, I immediately asked what happened. Oh, just ran into an old friend. He sobs as I pour the milk and cereal. If only he hadn't seen his face on the carton. After breaking my wife's skull open, slicing up her torso and removing all of her organs, I could find no trace of the alien parasite that was controlling her. I better check the kids, just to be safe. Thank you for releasing me, the demon said after we exorcised him from the little boy. That child's mind was the blackest hell I've ever witnessed. My mother called to warn me about a severe thunderstorm headed towards my part of town and told me to be careful driving home. Soon after she hung up, I began to notice tiny droplets of rain pattering the top of her headstone. I'm sorry, son, but your mother and father were in a car accident, and you'll need to come with us, the cop at my door said. I don't know who these guys are, but I literally just killed my parents in the other room. Life's been hard since Mom's death, but as I sat in the mirror rehearsing my lines, I knew I was going to give the performance of my lifetime. Mom, if you're out there, please come home. We're worried about you. As an immortal, I know I will watch all my friends die. So, I might as well get creative with it. When I woke up this morning, my sister was nowhere to be found. I wouldn't have been so concerned if it weren't for the fact that we were conjoined twins. I always enjoy the look on the children's faces as they swing back and forth in the park. It's just a pity that all too soon somebody always insists that they be cut down. I was shocked when the doctor told me I was technically dead for 3 whole minutes. Time moves quite differently in hell. The police knocked on my door with my daughter, who went missing 12 years ago, stood alongside them. Now, I sleep with one eye open, remembering how I buried her over a decade ago. A group of teenagers crashed their car in front of a mortician's house. He ended up preparing and then burying the bodies of the survivors. Having never been a superstitious person, I took the graveyard shift at the county hospital that's been closed since 2007. When I reviewed tonight's security footage, I saw an elderly woman in a hospital gown shuffling behind me as I checked each room with my flashlight, and millions of tiny hairs raised all over my body instantly. I forbid you to be with my daughter, my girlfriend's dad yelled. The good thing about being a zombie is that you can justify eating people you don't like. The mannequin looked disturbingly similar to my husband. It even had his skin. Papa always said you never forget your first kill. After 27, the faces just all look the same. I pretended to be asleep when I heard footsteps coming up the stairs. As the door opened, I suddenly remembered that my parents were still away on vacation. I'm nearly asleep when my partner slips in bed beside me, reeking of beer and cigarettes. It's been 2 years since I killed him. Abusive bastard still visits. I still see her beautiful face every morning since she passed away. I should probably get a new refrigerator. I love my husband, but I hate that he snores like a freight train every night, like right now. But then I remembered, my husband is out of town for work, and I'm the only one home.
And now a word from our sponsors.
VENATOS.
Spooktober 2022 is proudly sponsored by Press Start Productions' favorite, VENATOS. VENATOS has made this spooky season a little less scary with their quality gaming equipment and their ghoulishly good customer service. You won't be haunted with issues, as the VENATOS staff is always available to help with their expert and kind assistance. Even the undead can stand behind. If you're looking to upgrade your setup and want to do it in an affordable way, then look no further. As an added bonus, VENATOS is offering all members of the Press Start family an additional 10% off all of their orders when you use code pressstartmom at checkout. So, don't be afraid. Go to venatos.com today. You know you want to.